Today is March 16th, 2018, so we are officially in the race down at Carolina Motorsports Park for the end of April. So we've been buying parts and got the BMW back together. Haven't really driven it in the last 2 months, so drove it around a little bit, found some more things we need to play with, adjust, and ordered some parts. So we've got some lower control arms because the passenger side lower ball joint has about half an inch of play in it. That's a safety issue. And we have roll bar tubing. So with the new steel tariffs, prices are all over the place and nobody will give you more than a one-day quote. So we went ahead and ordered 20 feet of the 1 3/4 095 wall drawn over mandrel, and then 45 feet of the same size but in the welded tubing. So that should be enough for our roll cage for this time. Tomorrow, Rod, team owner, is coming up and we are going to spend the day doing maintenance. So we've got a oil leak on the front of the motor, so we're going to go ahead and take care of that. Also change the timing belt, because if you're racing you probably should take care of that, and check in the cooling system, start doing that stuff to make sure that we don't have any overheating issues, or try to minimize them as much as possible. So what I'll try to do today is get most of the interior out, put that in the storage garage, and start getting it ready. It's March 17, 2018, and we're working on the BMW 325i. Doing the belt change because the belt is shot, and a water pump change. And it's the best time to do this because we also have Sebring race just started. So working on a race car during a race. Couldn't be any better. So it's end of March 17th, 2018. We got the timing belt set back on. We're just waiting on a cap and rotor. We found those were burnt out, and some clamps. And we have the lower control arms out. We just have to have somebody press the bushings in for us because I don't have my press here. And then we were doing some mocking up of where we're going to put the seat, so that'll kind of help us determine what we need for roll bar positioning, but I think we're going to put it behind the B pillar. It's March 18th, 2018, and we have completed our work weekend. First work weekend on the BMW to get it ready for the late April Lemons event in Kershaw. So we're waiting to get some bushings pressed in, and we can have the lower control arms on because those had lower ball joints that were bad. We were waiting on a cap and rotor. We didn't realize those were bad, but we have a new one of those ordered and coming from Amazon. And the most exciting news, bad camera shot, we have the interior stripped. So later this week, when I get some time, I'll start working on cleaning up the wiring harness. I'm not going to strip anything out yet until we know where we're at. We have all the carpet out. The trunk is stripped, so it's just getting the wiring out that we're not going to use. We'll probably leave the brake lights and tail lights connected, remove the headlights, remove all the wiring circuits we're not going to use, and then try to figure out, we've got one on this side and one on the other side. Now that we can see them, figure out which one is the ECU and start making sure that works. So it's after lunch on March 20th. Got back on, got the lower control arms on, sway bars back on, put the new dog bones in for the sway bar, and checked everything out. Went back around after doing all that and did a bolt check to make sure everything's good. Put the tires back on. So it is April 2nd, 2018. Happy Easter, everyone. We have the sunroof cut out of the car. Took us about a couple hours. We'll have to weld some things back in, and of course do a little body work, but that's got to be welded back in anyway. Big news is the dash is out. Something I didn't film was stripping all the wire out for the power windows, power door locks, the computer. So we got everything working again, and the car runs again. So that's a good point. So now we can actually start caging it. Picked up some 1/8 inch by 4, about 20 foot of plate, and that's what we use to make the standoffs that go where the roll bar meets into the unibody, just to strengthen it up, and it just kind of disperses the load if there is an accident instead of just punching through the sheet metal. So we're going to make us some standoffs about 4 inches. That's why I bought it 4 inches wide, and that'll allow it to drop down about 4 inches, and we should be able to do the full 360 welds that are required on every single tube. We'll show you more tomorrow. Today is March 3rd, 2018, and we are starting on the rocker supports. So what I wanted to do is, instead of just putting a plate down and trying to just fishtail the pipes in there for the down bars, this is on the driver's side. I watched some videos where people make rocker boxes. So it's to tie the floor into the sheet metal, but also just tack this together. When we tack the tube in up at the top, up on the surface here, once the whole cage is tacked together, then you can actually take these supports out, do the welding for the crossbar and for the upright to the main hoop. So you've got a 360-degree weld, and then this will give more support to the floor. As you can see, we've actually got a support in here. We'll weld this, completely all the way around, plus there'll be plates on each end. So this should strengthen it up a lot. I have a email into the tech department at 24 Hours or Lemons to make sure that this is acceptable, but if it is, we'll keep moving forward. It's the end of March 3rd, 2018, and we have all the rocker box plates and structures mocked up. So this is the passenger side front. I showed you that one earlier. And then this is the concept came up with for the rear. So there's some wires, of course, that go along in that tunnel. So I spaced a inner plate out a little bit so that they have room to run, so if we ever need to replace those or do anything with them, we can pull them out. The specification calls for 1/8 inch plate. We're using 3/16 and a minimum of 24 square inches. So these plates are minimum. The narrowest section is 3 inches, and they're over 9 inches long, so that gets us 24 square inches. So we'll see what the rules committee says before I finish welding everything together.